Holy banana bread. Good afternoon. Oh boy. Oh boy. So yeah, welcome to the market close, by the way. I come to the show. I'm ready. I'm actually got like a good 5 minutes or more to spare. Fantastic. I go to boot up the camera. Nothing. I reboot it. Still nothing. Everything I try, absolutely nothing. And finally it dawns on me what's wrong. Oh boy. So this morning we had a small internet outage. So I had turned my Wi-Fi off on the phone because I wanted to do Wordle. I just forgot to turn it back on. And that's how it communicates to the Mac Studio, is via that Wi-Fi. So yeah. Anyway, that is the story. I apologize, guys. It looks like you guys had a pretty darn good conversation going. So at least there was that. But everything is now back to normal. Everything is fine. And I'm not going to go to the charts right away here. We'll look at the charts right after the bell. But we got 3 minutes to the bell. So you know what, guys? I think we'll start with you guys. Then we'll go to the bell. Then we'll take a quick look at the charts, and then we'll do whatever you guys want to do. All right. Paul was in first today with a good afternoon. We got Jim Peterson here with a hey there. Key Evan Katz saying good afternoon, gang. Good day for crypto and crypto adjacent stocks. Yes, absolutely. And I'm just taking a gander over there. Yeah, Bitcoin up 2.95% so far. So that's not too shabby. Ian says geese. Or is that supposed to be G's? I'm going to go with G's. G's, I'm actually on time for once and you're not. I know. Don't worry about it. Hello. I didn't know you were a goose, Ian. And then, yeah, I can't spell. Candace is busy trading or technical difficulties. Yeah, no, it's a technical difficulty. I'm not even going to call it a technical difficulty. Everything worked exactly the way it should. I was an idiot. Those were idiotic difficulties I had. Oh boy. Brian says, Alberta just announced a project proposal for a pipeline to northern BC being submitted for the next nation building approval at the Grey Cup. Yes, I saw that. I'd love to see that get approved. I would love to see that get approved. Candace, try unplugging it and waiting 10 seconds. I know. Jim says, all right. And I did not know that there was a press conference. I missed that today. Let's see. Hamilton had a press release this morning on HDIV and HYLD. They are cutting and trimming some positions to make room for the Daymax ETFs. Oh, there's no way they're going to cut those two. There's no way. I mean, these are two of their most popular dividends, ETFs. I can't see it, but holy banana bread, if they do, then they're really doubling down on the Daymax. So I'll have to check that out. I will have to check that out for sure. Guys, we have 30 seconds to the bell. I was late, but the bell's not going to be late. I won't let it happen. Yeah, 20 seconds, well, 22 or so. Gursky says, I'll be in and out, but I got my like in. Thank you kindly. I'm not going to ask for any likes until we put that little late entrance behind me. Then we'll ask for likes, but not right now. Nope, not asking. Jim says, is that for crude? And I think it is. I think it is, if I remember correctly. Oh, and guys, it's time. The market's closed. Hoo-ha. All right. All right. Tesla. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. First of all, Ian says, I would prefer they don't mess with HYLD. Yeah. You know what? Don't fix something that's not broken. You know, HYLD. Yeah. HYLD was not the ETF it was today. Back when it used to hold a whole bunch of those American ETFs. It's in a really fine-tuned shape right now. I think there's room for both, you know, for the HYLDs, HDIVs, RMAX, and a few others. I think there's room for them and the Daymax at the same time. So, we'll have to. I'll have to check. I'll have to check on that press release. I did not see it, so I'm not 100% up on that one. I'm subscribed. They should have emailed that to me. I thought that should have come, but it didn't. Paul says Tesla trying for 461 plus USD at the end of the day. I took Tiny off the table at 461 and put into STRC at cash at 10.29%. That's not too bad. That's not too bad, is it? Brian says hopefully they add in some crypto exposure because that is needed in some of these older funds. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I would love to see more crypto exposure. Absolutely. I think crypto is matured to a level that, we're not, most people, now some people there's still a lot of people out there that say, crypto, that's a scam. But there's still a lot of people there's now a lot more people who are looking at it like a legitimate investment. And it is a legitimate investment. Paul says, I do not see video yet. Uh-oh. Let me ask this question, guys. Oh, you know what? I didn't even have a chance to do this. I normally... there we go. Bring it over to right about there. Right about there. There we go. I like that. The corner in the wall there. Because I took it was hard to actually bend those panels to that to match the corners. So there we go. I hope everybody else can see the video. I know I got my test account up on the side and I can see it over there because I use that test account because that way there I can see what's going on. I can see what's going on. Brian, Jim, they are still announcing it right now, but yeah, an oil pipeline is the biggest money maker. Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Hi, everyone. This is Rory. Jim says, okay, there's a tanker moratorium and lots of opposition to lifting it. Yeah, people will oppose. Sometimes people, I think, oppose things just for the sake of opposing things. I don't know. And I understand. I understand the environmental impacts. People are worried. You got tankers. You got things like if you remember the old Val, what was that? Was it the Val Ortiz or something like that? That big one that had that big oil spill up. I think that was Alaska. But yeah, I can understand why people are a little concerned. But yet, at the same time, if you're taking precautions, those type of things shouldn't happen. Brian says, yes, but Carney said they need investors to step up. And there is like 6 pipeline companies here at the announcement. Was Pamina there? Good question. Good question. Let's see. September started, year 3 looking really good. All right. Brian says, it's basically piggybacking and updating the Northern Gateway that was already pretty much finalized with Indigenous approvals the whole way. Yeah. And that's the thing. Right now, you can sort of get around a lot of stuff if you find, if you already have existing approvals. So there's another thing too, like, if you have a pipeline already, you can actually double that pipeline using something called twinning, which is where you basically lay another pipeline right next to it because, well, it has already got all of the approvals and the zoning and everything it needs. So there's a lot less red tape. All right. And Jim says, yay, the countdown is on. Yes, the good old countdown. What a day for Capital Power, up 3.7%. That's not too shabby. Not too shabby. I thought that emoticon was a Cookie Monster at first glance. It still kind of makes me think of the Cookie Monster, Paul. Let's see. You got less than 4 minutes left to the bell. Yeah, we're you guys. Wow, I can't believe how far behind it's because, well, if you're late, you get behind. People just start stacking the stuff up on your desk. Gursky, is anybody in stock lending? I'm guessing that's why I'm getting manufactured dividends. Yeah, if you're, I don't find the stock lending feature in Wealthsimple to be really kind of worth it. You're not getting much for the fact that you're just getting a dribble of like a real dribble of income. Not even something I would call income. I don't know. I mean, it probably doesn't hurt, but I don't like it. Gursky, I've only just started, And Mary's in the house now, guys, because Mary's here. I told you I wasn't going to ask for likes until we got a little bit further in. Well, Mary's here, so now we got no choice. We got no choice. It's time to hit that like button. I'm gonna have some coffee. Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Very, very good. All right. Oh, we got Mark in the house with a hiya. And guys, I just noticed something here. We got a super sticker in here from Kiev and Kaz. So that guys makes Danny our first goat of the day. Woohoo! Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I gotta update the goat videos. I gotta update it. I saw. So those ones were made with Sora. There's now a Sora 2 that they're starting to roll out. I saw the announcement on that yesterday. So maybe I can get some even better goat videos. I will tell you though, I watched it. And this is kind of funny. I watched it yesterday, and one of the things that it had, and I loved it. They had this thing where they had ducks. Like they had a duck race instead of a horse race. It was like, it was the same rows that a horse would be racing on, except for it was water, and there were ducks with jockeys on them. It was hilarious. I found it very, very funny. All right. Now let's get back to where we were once again. And thank you once again, Kevin Cass. And by the way, guys, that does put us 3 away from a Friday show. Anna's in the house with a hi, all. Let's see here. And yeah, Gursky says, I've only just started stock lending. Bell time. Oh yeah, and there's the Nightbot letting you guys know about the Fridays. Jim says, you got it wrong. They are making room in HDIV and HYLD so they can add Daymax ETFs inside. Oh, okay. I approve. Then I definitely approve. Okay, good. You see, and that's what I said, Jim. I did not actually have a chance to read it. So, no, that's a good idea. I'm okay with that. All right. Let's see. Mark's coming in with some more information on HYLD. It says on Hamilton's site. So they're reducing. So SMAX, QMAX. They're exiting H bond. Yeah, I would exit H bond, and H bill. Yeah, I would. H bond and H bill are really. They're not super. They're not making a lot of money for the fund. So they're more or less adding a little bit more stability, but then removing those, putting in S day and Q day. Okay. That's a good move. Now I'm feeling a little bit better because I was like, what? All right. Oblique is in the house with a hey all. And Paul is telling us the video is there. All right. Valdez. Yeah, that's it. Gursky says crypto probably is a scam, but FOMO, fear of missing out. And it's kind of that reality, right? Some crypto is a scam and some of it's not. So it's kind of like if you're using your head in crypto, if you're investing in the ones that the institutional investors are in, you're going to be fine. But when you start stepping outside of that into those altcoins, yeah, there's a bit of risk there. There's a bit of risk there for sure. All right. Exxon Valdez. There we go. Never put the name. Ian says, never put the name in your company on that boat. I know. Absolutely. Like done. All right. Let's see. Kevin says, I got like $80 a month the last few months for stock lending on Wealthsimple. They were lending out my U.S. stocks, it seems. Okay. That's a lot. That's actually a lot. So that's, you must have a lot of stocks in there. You must have a lot of stocks in there because that's quite a bit. Most of the people I've been talking to about stock lending, they're like, I'm getting cents. But maybe you need to have some U.S. Stocks in there to lend out. Maybe that's where the real money is. All right. WG, do you think Torlamine oil is still a buy? Yeah. I love Torlamine. They're a really good company. I think they're solid. I think they're blue chip, and I think they're a buy. And we might we might see with oil, we might actually see the prices come down even more, because I know there's more talk about OPEC up in production more and more, and there's a lot of other places saying, "Gosh darn it, you're creating a glut of oil. There's too much oil." So we'll have to see how that's all going to look. But yeah, these are companies that when we get back to a point where oil starts exceeding expectations again, Torlamine will be in a really good spot. So I think probably the next year for a lot of these oil stocks is a good time to be buying, to be dollar cost averaging. And Vic says, step 1, hit like. Step 2, comment. Awesome. Awesome. Very cool. HYLD liked the news. It's up so far. There we go. HYLD and HDIV yields will go up a bit with Daymax. Yeah, that probably will happen. That probably will happen. That's a bit more income coming into those funds. So you can't complain there. Oh gosh, I actually think I caught up. Kevin Cass says, up until lately, my stock lending was netting me pennies. Okay. That's very interesting then. Very interesting. Gursky says, I got $8.88 on my CNR, and I think that's with stock lending. That's interesting. A lot of 8s. Some people actually say 8 is a lucky number, so maybe that's a lucky stock lending amount for you. Doorpat says, why is Amazon still lagging? Fundamentals remain solid unless there's something else we don't know about. Still bullish, but a bit scared now. Amazon, I wouldn't be worried about Amazon. If they're lagging, that's just more time to sort of stack some more. I think Amazon will be fine. I haven't heard of anything that would make me concerned at all. Anna says, better than stock lending, Wealthsimple should allow sell puts. Interesting. Well, give them time. I mean, Wealthsimple has been adding more and more complex trading features as they move forward. I'd love to see them add, personally, I'd love to see them add a trailing stop loss. I think that would be very, very awesome. They haven't yet. All right, guys, we have not looked at the charts yet today because, well, I was late. Thanks to technical, thanks to me being an idiot, I was late. Let's pull up the chart. Let's pull up the chart. We'll zip through the charts, guys. Here we go. We're going to start with the TSX. It finished in the green, up 0.32%. You can see I got the new blue line in here so that we can see that's where we ended August. This is where September is coming in. So September is, October. This is where October is coming in. This is where we ended. Oh, God. This is where we ended September, not August. What the heck? I'm losing track of the calendar, guys. So yeah, this here is, well, we're in a green October so far. We'll see what this month is going to hold. I can't see, guys, I'm going to say this again. I can't see October being as bullish as September was. I can't see it. I said the same thing at the beginning of September. So take that into consideration. This is what I called for September. I said September was going to be a little bit above that blue line, either a little green or a little red. I thought it was going to be a flat month. Well, I was dead wrong. So October, do I dare just call it another flat month? You know what? Here's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it a green month, but I'm not going to call it a strong green month. I'm going to call it a slightly green month. At least high enough that you couldn't say it's within the standard deviation of the blue line. So let's go with that. Let's go with that, and we'll see what happens. Oh boy, the S&P 500 having a great day too, and this is amazing, guys, because last night at midnight the U.S. government shut down. So I love this, and let me just come back here. I want to rant for a couple seconds. Here. Everybody and their dog was saying that the U.S. shutdown was going to drive the market red. It was going to be bad. And, a shutdown is bad. Like, quite literally, so a lot of bad stuff is going to happen because of this shutdown. So let's be clear about that. However, The market doesn't seem to care. I almost get a feeling that there's some investors out there that are thinking, the government shut down? Wow, maybe they can't screw things up so much now. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. The government shut down and the market doesn't care. It's continuing to thrive. Look at this. I mean, look at this. You can see one thing. We had one small wick down, but basically we recovered, and this here's the S&P, and it just went up. It went up, 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 and up. It's looking good. It's looking pretty strong. Nasdaq also up 0.49%. Exact same story. Exact same story. Dow Jones up as well. Now the Dow Jones, they did finish with a red candle, heading back down a little bit. And those small caps, also same general idea, still up. They're doing okay. A little bit of red at the end of the day, though. Uh-oh. You can't see anything. There we go. There we go. I can't believe that happened, guys. I can't believe that happened. Oh, boy. I'm just having one of those days. This is going to be a fun one. That's okay. That's okay. All right, so you weren't able to see any of that. Just very, very quickly, here's your TSX. Let's make it a little bit bigger. As you can see, here's our blue line. As you can see, this is what we did. This is what we did today. TSX, here's your S&P 500 and your NASDAQ. We were talking about those. There we go. We'll pull these up. I'm just trying to make them a little bigger so you can see them. In case you're watching this on your phone, your Dow Jones, I don't know why they all went and shrunk on me, but they did. And here's that Russell. Perfect. All right, guys, gold, well, basically, they're up a little bit. They're up 0.09%. Silver's up 1.23%. Oil, well, yeah, oil is still drifting down, slowly drifting down. Once again, news that OPEC is looking to up their production even more. Certainly not a good thing for oil. And of course, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing pretty good, up at 117. So will we get above that 120 again? Maybe. Maybe. All right. Looking here at, well, let's open this. Let's make this wider. Looking here at Canada, we can see, yeah, there's a lot of interesting things on here. Barrick Gold up 2.82%. I'm loving that. This is just really, really, really good. Celestica, yeah, we got a few things that are up. It's not really powerful. It's not powerful. Let's just go that way. Nutrium, though, down 3.4. I guess there has to be somebody towards the bottom. Somebody towards the bottom. Looking at the U.S., and I'm rushing this, guys. I'm rushing this so we can get this over with, because this should have been done before the bell. Before the bell. Looking at the United States, as we can see, Tesla having another good day, up 3.31%. But look at this, Eli Lilly up 8.18%. Holy banana bread. But health is having a good day overall. Like here's AbbVie up 5.55. I mean, this is not too shabby at all. Merck up 7.39. Gotta love it. Meta's down, Netflix is down. Google and Microsoft, they're just a little bit to the upside. So all of that fun. And of course, looking at crypto, oh boy, it's a very, very green day. And you guys know I like to pick a coin that is the opposite color. Let's go deep. Let's go deep. Any one of these red coins. Let's grab this one here. Bridge. You know what? I think we've done this one before. But Bridge AI, once again, this seems to me like it's an altcoin that is trying to take advantage, one, of the word AI. So I don't know what this does. It's not worth very much. It's a highly, highly risky investment. I call them crap coins because they're like being at the crap table. So yeah, Bridge AI, probably not best for your portfolio, but if you are interested in crypto, there's a lot of money to be made, but stick to your big coins. your Bitcoins, your Ethereums, your XRP, your Solana, and gosh darn it, even, yes, the Dogecoin. So all of that fun stuff. All right, now let's get back to the chat since we got through that. All right, let's see here. Kevin Cass says, I would love it if Wealthsimple would allow shorting. Yeah, well, like, once again, give them time. Give them time. I mean, just a couple of years ago, you didn't have margin, you didn't have stock lending. You didn't have a lot of that stuff. And now they've been making improvements consistently. So as long as they consistently keep making improvements, I think we'll get more features. I think we will for sure. Of course, on my wish list is you guys are looking for extra features. I'm just looking for a redesign of their desktop site. Make it easier to use. Make it easier to use for sure. Rory says, with one of my TD accounts, I can short. I think put options would be more favorable. All right, absolutely. Paul says, overnight the U.S. stocks went down, and then daytime came, and poof, they go up. Yeah, I think there was, like, even looking at things this morning. Now futures was showing movement to the positive, so that was kind of interesting. Futures was good. But yeah, some of the overnight trading, yeah, absolutely, was making it look like we were going to have a red day. So, cannot see anything? What do you mean you can't see anything? Oh, maybe that might have been the chart earlier. All right. Alzheimer's. Oh boy. What's the name of this show? Where are we? Yeah. No charts on the screen. Let's see. HHIS will have done well with LLY and Tesla. Yeah, absolutely. All right, and there's the old Nightbot letting you know about Friday. Jack says, good afternoon. Sold all my United Health today and trimmed a little Google to buy more LTC. Okay. Yeah, Jack has been stacking up those Litecoins. So what can we... And Jim saying, we did that bridge one last week. I knew we had done that one. You know what? Here, I'll pick another random one. Let's pull it back up. Because you're right. We've done that bridge one. I always like finding one that has an interesting name. You know what? I won't go as deep. Let's just grab this one here. What is this? Wilder World. I almost feel like I think we've done this one before too. What's going on? No, we have, because I'm pretty sure we have. All right. Holy cow. How can we grab two in a row that we've done before? All right, I'm going to go deep. Let's grab this one. OrboFi AI. There we go. Yeah, guys, stay away from this one as well. I don't even know how you would say this. OrboFi? What the heck is it? OrboFi. This one has me, yeah. Anyway, there we go. Just to say we did one that we hadn't seen. What can I say? Kevin Guess. U.S. pharma might be due to Trump's government making a deal with Pfizer. That's right. So one of the things that Trump has been trying to do is bring prescription prices down, and they've been working on a deal with Pfizer to do that. So that could certainly be looking good for a lot. And you know what? Whether you love or hate Trump, I don't care. Honestly, I don't. But you know, if you can lower prescription prices for people, that's not a bad thing. I'm okay with that thing for sure. You know, I don't want to be the 51st state, but I certainly am okay with Americans getting cheaper prescription prices for sure. Jack says, if you mine Doge, you also earn Litecoin or vice versa. It makes both crypto extremely secure with all-time high hash rates. Interesting. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. I had forgotten about that. I know I'd heard that before, but yeah, that's a good point. Paul says, does Wealthsimple have preferred shares yet? I do not know. If any of you guys know, I'll drop it in the chat. King Deuce says, hello. It would be nice if we could drip individual stocks on Wealthsimple. Yeah. I would love to see too. Like, a lot of times when you look at dripping, some companies will provide a discount for people who are dripping. I'd like to see that happen. And with Wealthsimple, that would be fantastic. Michael's in the house. How can the market keep making new highs with a shutdown with so much bad news? Michael, if you knew, if I knew that answer, I'd certainly tell you. I don't know. Um, it just seems like investors are like, I don't know. I don't know if it's a situation where people are just putting everything into investments, just saying, look, we're going to ride out whatever happens in the economy. Let's get away from cash. Let's put everything into investments. If there's an inflation wave, at least they should go up by that inflation amount. So I don't know if it's sort of like the entire stock market has now become that haven against whatever calamities are going to come out of all of these tariffs and stuff. I don't know. I do not. I can't give you an answer, Michael. Polar Bite says a great content and good inspiration for crypto and ETFs in Canada. Oh, thank you, thank you. Now that's a cool name. Polar Bite. Gotta love it. I do love that. That's awesome. Rory, we will see a 4,000 point drop in a single day, rug pulling the entire world market. I hope we don't. I hope we don't, but sometimes it feels like when we do, I think when we go into the next bear market, I think it could be a deep one. I think it could be a deep one. Like we're talking 25 to, I don't even want to say 25 to 30, but probably 25 to 40%. I mean, and even then, guys, that's pure speculation. Like I thought we were going to be in a bear market by this time at the beginning of the year. So, and we're not. In fact, we're still pumping along. So, and this is the thing. Nobody truly knows when a bear market's coming, but it is coming. We just don't know when. So, well, for now, I have a feeling the way things are going, the way the market is feeling, the vibes I'm getting is that I think it's going to take a lot to pull this market down this year. So I see it continuing. I see this continuing through this year. Maybe it'll slow down a little bit, but I think it's still going to be rising. And we'll probably get at least a couple of good dips, I think, before the year is done. And Jack says prices down should be bad for healthcare, and UNH specifically should be found guilty on fraud or exaggerating diagnosis to overcharge other insurance companies. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right, I'm going to skip down here. Jim says, I'm beginning to wonder if the popularity of ETF products is starting to affect the markets. That's something I haven't really thought about, Jim. So yeah, I mean, right now, like ETFs, and I had this thing on one of the news reports not that long ago, where ETFs are just absolutely exploding in popularity. And it makes sense. It's a nice, easy way to invest. And a lot of people are just not doing individual stocks anymore. Like, why put in what, it's okay to put in the work, but a lot of people are kind of like thinking, why put in all that work when, I can get a nice passive income fund for a fairly cheap price. And of course, then you've got all these covered calls. So I think, and I've asked this question in videos before. I've asked, are there just too many brand new ETFs? But here's the reality. I think we're going to see more and more. I don't think this is going to slow down anytime soon. So I definitely think we're going to see more. We're going to see more creative. Like just take a look. BMO released that a covered call spread. So that is basically a ETF that uses covered calls, but it also takes options to sort of counteract some of that loss of upside potential. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, that's an interesting strategy. And it seems to be working. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see where this all ends up going. Kiev and Cass, I think with ETFs, there are now more people attracted to investing themselves along with easy entry from platforms like Wealthsimple. Yeah, absolutely. No, I think you're going to get to a point where Most people will be managing their ETF portfolios. I think it's going to happen. So we'll have to. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this is all going to evolve. But so far, evolution is moving in that direction, and it'll get to a point. I mean, it could get to a point where people just don't even invest in regular stocks. They invest in the ETFs. The ETFs invest in the regular stocks. Either way, it doesn't matter. Like you take Microsoft, they don't care. They don't care if it's an individual investing in them or if it's an institutional ETF. To them, it's doesn't matter. As long as there's a demand for their stock, they're happy. Rory says there are enough fund managers and investment bank traders to oversee all these. Oh, are there enough? Well, that's a good question. I'll say this. I have no clue how many there actually are. But if this kind of becomes the way, I can see a lot of people moving into those roles. Like there's probably a lot of advisors in those companies, lower level, that would be trained up in that direction, I would assume. But I don't think that's going to be an issue right now. I think right now, and it's not like we're rolling out 1,000 new ETFs every year. Though we might be close to 100, but especially if you look at all of the ones that we're not looking at. We look at all of the big ones, and we certainly cover the income ones and some of the other ones. But I think it's going to get more and more interesting. I mean, the funny thing is, the next video. So, guys, by the way, the channel members spoke, and so our next video we're going to compare HHIC to CANY to ECHI. There we go. So yeah, we got all three of these very similar ETFs that just released. We're going to break them all down for you. That's going to be that'll be available Tuesday. Friday. That'll be available Friday. And Thursday, it'll be available tomorrow afternoon for the channel members. You guys will have that right away. And then after that, the next video is the 0 to 100K challenge. So we got that. Like normally they everything got pushed ahead a week because of that whole windfall series. So fun stuff. All right. Paul says if people switch to cover call ETFs, then in a bear they can reinvest some at lower prices. Oh yeah, they're strategies. So there are definitely, and we'll do this. We'll cover this. Don't worry, guys. Yeah, there are strategies on how you should handle investing if you are an income investor, if you're a covered call investor, how you should handle it when a bear market comes, because obviously, yeah, there's going to be some interesting considerations as we move into a bear market. Rory, when will AI take over the job of managing ETFs? Well, that's the other thing. So when Rory asked, are there enough fund managers? Eventually, we won't even need any fund managers. AI will just do the whole thing. AI is getting really good. I did see an article today. Now, I did not get a chance to read through it, but I just saw the headline, and it was like there's some customer service call center type jobs that are centers that have already started just exclusively using AI, and they're saying the AI is doing better than our human agents ever did. So, it's coming, guys. Jim says, Q-Day had 1 million assets under management when it opened, and last time I looked, it had 158 million. Oh my God. Yeah. You'd think that that's a growth. That's not all growth, guys. That is them continuing to add more funds to it, obviously. But yeah, I can definitely see that number getting higher. Like I imagined within a year, Q-Day will probably have, I imagine it'll probably have between 300 to 500 million in assets, if not higher. Obviously, the more popular it gets, it'll get there. It'll get there for sure. When are brokers bringing in? Okay, when our brokers bring in baskets, you pick the stocks and percent sizes, and you hit buy or later rebalance like your own ETF. Well, you see, let's go down a rabbit hole, Paul. once once we have AI managing these funds, there's no reason why AI couldn't just completely custom create a fund for you. I mean, really, especially if that AI is also doing all of the covered calls and everything else on it. So you could have custom, your own custom ETFs down the road. Now, do I think this is going to happen this year or even next year? No way, not by a long shot. But I imagine 10 years down the road, that's probably a possibility. So, that's kind of what's going on. Lori says, can you explain funds like ULTY can keep losing cash but pay large dividends? Oh boy. So yeah, so ULTY, that's one of those yield max funds. So yeah, they're part of it is they're banking off of the volatility that they're involved in. And when you're losing money, you are in volatility. So because of that volatility, they're charging really high premiums when they're writing covered calls on it. Now those premiums, that's what's creating these huge payouts, even though the underlying asset is collapsing. I'm leery. I'm a leery of funds that collapse to that extent. Like I love covered calls. I love income investing, but I think there has to be a limit. Like I don't mind if I have a good income and my price, the ETF itself the value is pretty much just staying constant. It's not really growing. It's not losing. I'm absolutely okay with that. But if I have an ETF that is plummeting, I'm a little bit more leery about that. And that's when total return will certainly come in. But, you can't plummet forever, but at the same time, and, you have to, and I don't know everything that ULTY is holding that's causing everything to plummet. But when you look at a market like right now, when everything is pretty much doing pretty darn good, and you've got an ETF that's plummeting, I start to look at it and start going, well, gosh, that's not good. That's not good. And it also makes me wonder if we are in a situation where they've got so much ROC, return of capital, that are they sort of shorting themselves with those high dividends? So yeah, there's definitely a few things. Like I get a little bit leery when dividends get really big. Especially when you start going above 20%. When you start going above 20%, I start to get a little cautious with some of those funds. I think the sweet spot where you can have really good dividends with covered calls, even with leverage, I think the sweet spot is around 15. I would say from 12 to about 15%. To me, that's roughly the sweet spot. Under that is fine because then, you have even a better chance of some stability in there. But then the other thing is, and I'll always do this in my reviews, I want to see that total return. Because, if you give me a 20% dividend, and then you're giving me a return on investment. So without the dividend, the return on investment of that asset's like, let's say it's minus 15%. Well, guess what? My total return, minus 15 plus 20, it's about 5%. So, all of a sudden, that 20% doesn't look that inviting to me. Now, maybe for a pure income investor who just wants that cash, doesn't care how much it falls, it might look a lot more inviting. But I like I said, we've been talking a lot more about hybrid portfolios, and that's where my investing sense falls. It's a total returns, but yeah, a hybrid mentality. So not a pure income, but I can certainly appreciate it. What did you say was coming? The end of the year, Michael. The end of the year is coming. Christmas. No. Eventually a bear market is coming. That's, I think, what I was saying. But nobody knows when. In fact, a lot of times with a bear market, you don't even know you're in the bear market when it's already begun. So it's kind of interesting. Obviously, right now it hasn't begun. We're still climbing, climbing, climbing. But, we could have a slight incline that just keeps on getting steeper and steeper. And that's kind of, we could have a slow, or we could have a big drop, like a crash, a 1 day crash, and then go into that incline, at a slower rate. We don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know until we get there. It will happen. It will happen for sure. Jack says AI is crazy, and I know so many older people who still don't understand it, but openly consume AI content without knowing it. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. And there's been, I've seen some really crazy AI content recently, and I'm like, what the heck? There was this one thing, and this is not a political thing, but for whatever reason, Trump had shared something called a med bed, and that was it was like this AI generated news clip from Fox talking about this bed that all Americans were going to get access to that would regrow limbs and make you completely healthy from sleeping in it. And there was even clips in this thing of Trump going on about it. And I was like, how could Trump even share that? I have a theory. I think it was one of these situations where he just shared it without looking at it. So guys never share things unless you look at it. I think he shared it without looking at it, and then 12 hours later, he ended up deleting it. He normally doesn't delete his stuff, but I think somebody sort of said, "Do you realize what you shared?" And he was probably like, "Nope." And then he went and took a look at it, and as soon as he realized what he had shared, he deleted it. I think that's kind of the story, but it's just crazy, some of the AI stuff that is floating around for sure. And it's only going to get worse. Like I said, AI is getting better and better. King Deuce says, I'm almost certain that Questrade managed portfolio is AI managed. Maybe, I don't know. It may not be managed per se. It might be AI assisted. Like they're probably definitely using AI algorithms to help them. Rory says, Questrade support is also AI, but I needed an actual rep for some things. Yeah, absolutely. And that's going to be that thing. Some people will need a human. Let's just face it. Some people will need a human for sure. Hopefully that can happen. Hopefully there'll be that option. Like I'd like to see, like if we do move in, like some people are okay. I'm okay with AI. It's like, in fact, if I call a help center, I would rather have an AI agent than a real person. And I'll tell you why. Because that AI agent is going to, one, they're going to be very fast, they're going to be efficient, and they're going to have access to every single thing that I could possibly ask about the product. Yeah, so I would, and also just that fast and efficiency. It's like I don't need, if I'm calling, because my time is limited. So if I'm calling about something, I don't want to talk about the weather. I don't want any pleasantries. I just want to get right to it. Let's get to it. Let's fix it. Let's make this a nice short call because I don't have the time. So, that's the way I look at it. But now my mom, oh boy. My mom would probably find an AI agent incredibly rude. She'd be upset that they weren't asking about the weather, because my mom will talk. My mom's a talker. So that's just, that, it just shows, I think, different people. So I wouldn't mind there being options. Like, if you're older and you don't, you need that human touch, then there should be an option for you. And if you don't mind AI, then there should be an option for you as well. So I would like to see it sort of moved in that way. Unfortunately, it probably won't. It'll probably be more of an all or nothing, I think, in most cases. But I would love to see it work the other way. All right, Lisa is in the house with a hi, everyone. Awesome. Oh, and let me have a sip of coffee here before we talk about this. I have to build the October schedule. I haven't done that yet, but one of the things in October that we're going to do is we're going to have a bonus live stream. It's not going to be a topic live stream. It's going to be just a A chill. It's going to be a chill. It's going to be a channel birthday celebration. So that's going to be coming up. I don't know exactly when yet. I'm gonna look. I have to put the calendar together. We also have the weekend of Thanksgiving, so there won't be a this week on that weekend because my mom will be in town. Speaking of my mom, yeah, so there's gonna be a few little things. I'll throw those all together. I'll get that up as soon as possible because we just entered October. I can't even believe we're in October. So what can I say? Rory says Sunday low minus 3. I don't want to see that, Rory. It's been, other than today, it's been chilly today, but all of September, most of September, I'll say, at least the second half of September has felt like the summer. Even not last night, but the night before last, I was mentioning to Jill, I was like, gosh, the window's open, there's a breeze coming in. It doesn't even feel like a fall breeze. It feels like a summer breeze. But now today, it's chilly. I got my window closed. No breeze. Well, I closed the window for the stream anyway, because I don't know what's going to happen out there on the street. So, but yeah, September was pretty darn good. Now it's going to start to cool down for sure. Rory says, yeah, September was hot at times. I know. So anyway, it will be a fun. I wanted to mention one other thing too. So as you know, we did the Windfall series. So we did the 3 videos, and then I did that mega video. There was an error in that mega video. I just want to point this out. Nothing with the results, or nothing. All of the new content in it was fine. But when I was stitching in the scenes, so those scenes from the old video, which showed just the breakdown of each portfolio, the dividend growth, the very first one in that video, somehow I managed, and I don't know how, I managed to add in the wrong scene. It had the scene from the growth and income, and the growth and income had that scene as well. So that one had, I pinned a comment there, so with a link to the video if anybody does want to see that. It's kind of weird, like, because so many people have already watched it, it's like it kind of dissociates them if I were to delete it and put up a fixed copy. So I was just like, well, you know what? I got the thing in there, and besides, it shows that I'm human. It shows I'm very human in that case. Like I said, I did not realize it happened, and quite literally, none of the channel members caught it. Normally, if a mistake gets through, a channel member catches it, and then I do delete it and put up a new copy during that. But yeah, even the channel members didn't catch it. So, but yeah, there was that little error. Just living up to it, living up to my to my mistakes. It's a philosophy I have. Like, I don't like to sweep mistakes under the rug. I rather just own them, bring them forward, and say, yep, I screwed that. I screwed the pooch on that one. So hey. But I overall like the whole idea. So I'm thinking that I'm going to do other series like that down the road. I don't know what they'll be, but, where I do maybe 3 parts and then a 4th to sort of bring it all together. And now, and the interesting thing too, is knowing ahead of time that that's what I plan to do. It can certainly help me film them, at least the first 3, in a way that makes it a little bit easier to integrate it into the final one. So anyway, that was just something I wanted to bring up for sure. All right, guys, we're almost at an hour. I mean, we're heading towards the end, but it doesn't have to be the end. If you guys got got some final questions, or whatever, pump them in, drop them in the chat. I will I'll have some coffee while I wait for a couple of questions here, so we can move on. All right. So good. I love this. All right. Crispy Bones. I like that. That's a good name. Any thoughts on the MFI spin-off today? MFI. Let's take a gander here. I will admit, I do not know what you're talking about right at this moment. But, sorry, let's go over here. Let's pull this all up here. Let's jump in here. First of all, let's start off with MFI. So, and now hopefully we're in the same country right now. I'm thinking about MFI as in Maple. There's two different. There's Maple Leaf Foods up here in Canada, and there is MF International Limited in the States. So let's see here. I will pull up Maple Leaf Foods here because then I can see the news underneath, and we'll see if there's any kind of a spin-off type, any kind of a spin-off here news story. Let's see here. It is all right. It is Maple Leaf Foods. All right, perfect. I'm gonna pull this up here. So Maple Leaf Foods events. All right. So Maple Leaf Foods announced they have completed the spin-off of its pork operations into Canada Packers. Okay, Canada Packers. So, CPKR. That's what I'm looking for. All right, perfect. Let's pull that up. And you know what? I'm just going to duplicate the tab because I want to. All right, wait a second. Actually, I don't even need to duplicate the tab. I will drag this over here. I just want to have Maple Leaf Foods here, and I also want the new one. Let's pull this up here as well so that we can take a look here. Let's see here. Page does not exist. Okay, so this is the thing. I do not know if it started trading yet. It may not have started trading yet. I just know it's not showing up here. Let me try one more thing here. I want to go to Yahoo Finance just in case it's some kind of a weird thing going on. Yeah, oh no, they have it listed here. CPKR. Let's see here. Yeah, they don't have very much. They don't have very much data yet, but we at least have it listed on Yahoo Finance. It's not yet listed on TXM. So okay. Oh, well, there we go. There we go. It starts trading tomorrow. Interestingly enough, let's head over here. So if we look at today, like Maple Leaf they've fallen today. And let's just say here, I'm going to go on to let's go on to the 1 day. A little bit. I mean, they're not doing great, but that's fine. Let's pull back a bit. I want to take a look here. Okay, there we go. This is what I wanted to see. So Maple Leaf, Maple Leaf is doing fine actually. Just not doing fantastic today. Maybe that's because of the spinoff. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna pull up the 3-year here. Yeah. I mean, since basically about the beginning of the year, pretty much since the Santa Claus rally, the Santa Claus just kept on buying Maple Leaf, I guess, to power him through hibernation. But yeah, no, I mean, I think this is doing fine. They might come down a bit more, though. I mean, I'm just looking at this. That's a lot of growth. A correction would be normal. So I would say if you're thinking about getting into Maple Leaf Foods, first of all, I think you're probably going to get a better entry point than 34.9. I think it will come down a little bit. Now, with their pork company or CPKR, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know what it's going to do. There might be some excitement at the beginning, but brand new stock, a lot of times there will be more excitement than it deserves to have. That's a normal thing. So it might go up and then come back down. But I would definitely say that we're going to see more movement to the downside on Maple Leaf. And I think on the other one, we'll see a little bit of a movement to the upside. But if you were to wait, I think you're going to be fine. Let's see here. Paul is saying Maple Leaf could fall on October 2nd with the spinoff, assuming Maple Leaf shareholders get shares of the spinoff. And yeah, you see, now I don't have that. I don't have the terms of that deal. So I don't know how that works out too, but it'll be interesting for sure. Zillennial says, Brookfield Corporation or Brookfield Asset Management, BAM, has been struggling a lot lately. All right, so you know what, guys? Let's actually since I have both windows open, let's pull them up together. So Brookfield Corporation, BN, here we go. And Brookfield Asset Management, BAM, here we go. All right, so I'm going to pull up. I want the 1 year on both of these right now. 1 year, and we're going to pull up the 1 year here as well. There we go. All right, so Brookfield Asset Management, it's a company I love. I love Brookfield. Um, long before all of this weird Carney stuff came about, but I've always been a big fan of Brookfield. And I think of it as just there's so much diversification in them. Now, you will see they had been doing fantastic, and then Trump came along. This was Liberation Day in here. They've been coming back up. So yeah, they're coming up, they're correcting. There's a lot of volatility here. Now, let's look at Brookfield Corporation. You can see with Brookfield Corporation, they're responding a little bit better. And you're right, Brookfield Corporation is doing a little bit better. They're also experiencing a little bit of a pullback right now, but it's interesting. See, this is the interesting thing. So when the old BAM, so BAM.A, when they spun out into Brookfield Corporation and the new BAM, so Brookfield Corporation, a few things. Brookfield Corporation took all the debt so that BAM could start without debt. And they also gave Brookfield Asset Management all of the premium assets. So BAM was supposed to be the one that, you get a better dividend. You should be getting more total return with BAM than you're getting with Brookfield Corporation. Brookfield Corporation is going to be more of your slow burn, your growth. Well, that has not been the way it has progressed. Let me just pull this up here. All right. I'm going to pull this up here as well with, this here is Brookfield Corporation. All right. Brookfield Asset Management. We'll go to the same thing. So you can see right here. So right here, 12/26. This is when the new BAM was created right here, 2022. So BAM, and you can see, I mean, this has been fantastic. Other than, of course, Donald Trump right in there, but they've had a really good movement. Now, let me just see here. I'm gonna put this on. Yeah, you can just see this on the 3. I think the 3-year is very representative. All right, good. We'll go back to the 3-year here. Now, with Brookfield Corporation, they have been doing absolutely, they've been on more of a slow burn, but they've been keeping pace. They've been keeping pace. I think if we were to actually look at the total return between the two of them, you got to look. I mean, why do I keep going that way? These look, they look a little different, but at the same time, I think they're close, but the big difference here, once again, is with Brookfield Corporation, you're not getting much of a dividend. You're getting a 0.523%. And with Brookfield Asset Management, you're getting a full 3.04%. So Brookfield Asset Management, a lot of that growth is coming through as a dividend. Now, I compared them probably about, I don't know, was it 6 months ago? I think I did the two of them against each other, but I do still like them both. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be, there might be some struggling, but keep in mind as well, Brookfield Asset Management has just signed a deal with Figure. Was it Figure One? That's the company that makes those robots, the ones that OpenAI had showed off not that long ago. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things. Like they want to use basically Brookfield Asset Management's exposure to a lot of their properties and real world spaces to use that to train the robots. So it'll be interesting to see where things are going. But I still love both of these companies. So I think if you're looking for a little more income, BAM should be your choice. And if you're on that slow, steady burn, Brookfield Corporation should be your choice. That's kind of the way I look at them. Now, some people will argue that BN. I've heard a lot of people say BN is absolutely the better. I think they're both still good. All right. Jack says, have you seen how globally diverse Northland Power is? Canada, U.S., Colombia, Netherlands, Germany, Spain, soon Taiwan, Poland, Scotland, plans to expand to Japan, South Korea, Mexico. Yeah, no, Northland Power, yeah, they have a lot of they have a pretty good global footprint. Absolutely. And that is pretty good. So I mean, if you're looking for a good utility company, Northland Power, absolutely, definitely one of my favorites. Definitely better than than Algonquin, that's for sure. And then yeah, and guys, I actually got out of a Algonquin swing trade today. So all of the details of that went to the channel members, of course. They get all of the details on those swing trades. Um, but yeah, it was just Algonquin. They had a good day. They had a good day today, and they pushed up pretty high. I threw in a stop loss and started riding that up. Eventually, it came back and hit my stop loss. I would have liked to have gotten a little bit more off from them, but I was happy to get out. I was happy to get out at this point because Algonquin wasn't supposed to be a long trade. It went a little bit longer than I had anticipated, for sure. So, what can I say? All right. Very, very good. All right, guys, if you got no more questions for me, oh, this one might be a short one. We haven't had a short one in a while. So it looks like we only got one super today, so we're not going to have a Friday show. We will be back, though, on Sunday, of course, and I'll get the schedule up really, really, like before the end of the week. Before Sunday, I'll have that schedule up for you guys, so that way there we'll know when we're going to do, what we're going to do, when we're going to do it, all of that fun stuff. All right, guys. This has been, once again, you guys, this has been an awesome show. We got off to a rough start, that's for sure. But it was good. It was good by the end. All right, guys, I'll be back here on Sunday, and that new video that will be out. You'll be able to see it tomorrow if you're a channel member. You'll be able to see it Friday. I don't even know what day of the week it is today. It's one of those days. It's one of those days. It feels like a Monday, but it's not. It's probably because of that strange holiday we had yesterday. All right, guys, until next time, take care. I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.